in a broken wasteland. Come to my fire.
What's going on, Metalheads? Thank you all for tuning into this week's episode of the Metal Forge. My name is Mark Jackson, and I am your host. This week, we have James Danzo from Tower in the Metal Forge with us, and holy shit, this is an awesome treat because I, just recently got into Tower, and it's like seeing the band, in playlists and on Spotify and stuff like that, because I kind of live in a black hole. It's like everybody goes to like Indy or Cincinnati or Nashville or whatever, and it's all 2 hours or 3 hours away. So when you get in and like getting to see a band that's like you guys live, sometimes, it just doesn't happen for a while. You got to drive 2 hours sometimes. So welcome to the Metal Forge. Thank you for coming. This is awesome. How are you doing today, man?
Doing good, man. Chilling. Glad to be here. Kentucky, right?
Yeah, I'm actually just over the river in Indiana where I am.
Okay.
And but yeah, Louisville. Like I said, it can kind of be a black hole sometimes, but then again, sometimes it's like, holy shit, there's so much going on. Who do I go see this weekend?
Yeah, well, I know Savage Master is from Kentucky.
Yep. Yeah,
you can never see them too many times.
Friends of the Metal Forge. I've known Adam and Stacy for quite a while now, so definitely. So, I mean, what's up? I mean, how's things? You all just put out a new album.
Yeah.
And it's fucking killer. I love I love the foil. I love the leather bound book type cover.
Yeah, we were lucky that the label Cruz del Sur was down to do all that, and they knew exactly what to do because it came out perfect, exactly the vision that we had for it, and that's pretty special. And I think that's only going to be the first pressing with the foil and the leather texture, and that's almost gone. Like,
damn,
almost
so
gone already.
Yeah, that makes sense, because it is an expense, so. But before we get into all of the talk, I mean, you all are based out of New York. So how's New York? I mean,
how's New York?
Yeah, how's New York? I always like to ask people how their city's going, how the scene's going up there. Got some death metal friends up there, in
the New York Death Militia. You know them?
I don't know them. I'm friends with Tombstoner.
Okay.
And, I got the thrash friends up there, Electrocutioner, and
all right. Yeah.
Yeah. So total rad stuff. I mean, I've actually never got to play in New York or adjacent to it. So I'm hoping this year we can get something going up that way.
I hope so. I mean, New York is the fucking best, it's just, I don't know. It's my element, and the scene is good. St. Vitus really was like a flagship, main point for metal for like over a decade. And then they had to close a year ago or more, but a lot of other clubs have taken up the slack. You got the Meadows and the Monarch and the Woodshop, which are three cool venues all on the same block. You got TVI. And there's tours and local bands playing all the time. Crowds are good. So I hope you make it up here soon, because right now it's pretty hot.
Yeah, definitely. And, it's almost like, do I take off in the middle of summer and actually take that vacation style trip and just go in the middle of summer? Do I want to go to New York in like fucking July or August where it's fucking roasting hot and shit?
Yeah. It's always extreme, when it's cold,
for sure.
It's cold. You know what I'm saying? We're like right on the water. So you get a lot of extremes weather-wise.
Definitely. And of course, there's always places that you have to go when you're there.
Yeah.
What are some of the places that you have went to as a local or whatever that you've been there that people always flock to, and you're just like, oh gosh, I have to go by there and there's going to be so many people? What is it?
landmarks and shit.
Yeah, what place up there that is most that you have to go by, but you know that you don't want to, but you have to,
I don't
just
know,
because
man.
of the tourism stuff.
I mean, everybody wants to go to the Statue of Liberty,
Sure.
which I did.
Yeah, is that on your regular route?
No,
Is that on your
nobody's
regular route?
You got to go out
Anything?
your way. You got to get on a ferry and all this shit. So, it's a
Sure.
little difficult to do. But I don't know. That's the first thing I would think of. Being
Definitely.
a like we don't really care that much about I don't know anybody that voluntarily ever went up the Empire State Building. It's just kind of like, yeah, all right, that's fair, whatever. I don't know. Downtown is cool. Wall Street, one of the oldest settled places of New York City. That's where they started.
Sure.
But I don't know. We've been to Europe a lot recently, and what I used to think are old buildings is since 18 something. I mean, forget it. But they have buildings that are 1,300 years old, still standing, still being used.
Exactly.
Europe. But so it's hard to impress a European who comes to New York. Look at that old building. It's like 150 years old. They'll just laugh. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We don't really care that much about the landmarks as locals. And I can say that in general. It's not just me. None of my friends really ever did.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, and I'm the same way here because, we have the Kentucky Derby. And we always have the thing of there where it's like, I fucking hate Derby season. Yeah. Just because of the fucking traffic that gets kicked up, the out of town people coming through going like, oh, don't you like Derby? It's like, no, it fucks up my city for 2 fucking weeks.
Yeah. And people make money though. I mean, is it good for business?
Yeah, for the most part. But it's I don't know. It's still sometimes it feels like more of a pain in the ass to get around.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. No, it's a headache. I can imagine. Never been to one. Then
you're not missing much. It's over at 2 minutes, anyways.
Well.
I mean, you sit there all day, and especially like this past week where it was rainy, and there's still fucking 150,000 people there, or however many people. I don't know. I mean, so yeah, the new album just recently came out. At the end of March? Is that when it was?
There's a whole bunch of dates that are all wrong at this point. I mean, it came out digitally in March. Then we were saying April 11th. Yeah, April 11th was supposedly the physical release, but that didn't really happen that way either. I think most people didn't get their hands on a physical copy until maybe the last 2 days of April, maybe May is when it finally was really out. But anyway, whatever. Yeah, it just came out.
For sure. And seeing the promotion on Instagram and stuff like that, it's super cool. The album, There Will Be Dark, or Let There Be Dark. I'm sorry. My bad. My mistake. Let There Be Dark. And that's where my head went with it. Is immediately, thinking of like There Will Be Blood. You know. Let There Be Dark, and it's the same kind of awesome fucking titling. And of course, with the leather bound copy and everything, 10 tracks, you've got a couple of instrumentals on there. And I dig them because it seems like a thing in like heavy metal today that a lot of people put breather tracks, like instrumentals. They might only be a couple of minutes to separate like a group of songs.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I think of like Black Sabbath, Master Reality, where you got what is that? Embryo,
Orchid?
Children of the Grave, and then Orchid, and then Lord of this World. Like, is interlude song.
Sure.
I don't know. To me, that's my point of reference.
No, and that's totally cool because what I've noticed, like listening to, the previous release and listening to this, I can hear so many different styles of guitar going on. Like, I really like, there's some bit of like in the first instrumental, The Well of Souls, I totally get like a flamenco, like a Spanish style guitar in that.
Yeah.
Know?
Thanks. I don't know. Yeah. That's 3 tracks of a Martin backpacker guitar, and that's all that is. Some people have said it sounds like a mandolin.
Yeah, I mean, I can totally hear, and that's crazy because I never would have thought that was a backpacker.
It is, yeah, that's what it was. Believe it or not.
And I've always loved those things. I really have. And what's so cool about them is, yeah, the body is more like a parlor style sound. Mm-hmm. But what's so cool about them is you can actually get cool fretting up top if you need it, because there's nothing there inhibiting it.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
it's sure like the flying V of acoustic.
Kind of, yeah. I'm sure Arthur did something with the sound to make it, a little better than it really was. But that's pretty natural. It's 3 tracks of Martin Backpacker made that.
Dude, that's amazing. So when you set out to write and record this new album, what was the genesis of? Was there an idea? Like, did the band approach something and just say, okay, this is where we're going, this is what we would like to do?
Yeah, I guess. Well, Under the Chapel was sort of led the way direction wise, because we had that kicking around for a while and really liked it, and liked the sort of Eastern, intense, heavy kind of vibe going on, and we didn't have too much prepared beforehand making this record, so we kind of were able to style the rest of the songs, along that way. Holy Water was around even a little before Chapel, but the band hadn't rehearsed it yet, so that kind of doesn't count.
Sure.
But other than that, I mean, still, it just happens to be whatever comes out naturally, Right like on. And I Cry just came out one time. It was like a Christmas party, and me and Zach and Sarah Beth were just sitting around and chilling, and we were listening to Thin Lizzy, and then Sarah Beth was like, "We need to write a song right now," and we were all like, "What do you mean?" And then we did, and it was "And I Cry," And we didn't have anything really in mind except let's make a song up. But I don't know. At the end, when you have a collection of songs, it just sort of ends up feeling like they're related to each other, even if stylistically they're different. Like those 2 ballads, "And I Cry" and "Don't You Say." Mm-hmm. Very different, but still very
and good. Yeah, absolutely. So when you're coming off of something like Shock to the System and going into Let There Be Dark, again, that's 4 years difference of writing music ish. Yeah. Because I know how I'm a musician. I know how the thing goes. You always have something in the chamber, whether it be something that you've written fucking 15 years ago that it's that earworm thing that you're like, I've always liked this riff kind of deal.
Yeah.
But when you're in the cycle, the album cycle is what, the pros have referred to this as. Mm-hmm. But when you're sitting there, and what do you do? It's like, do you set up a time frame? Like, I want this out by such and such date.
Loosely, I mean, let's 4 years is a little long,
Sure.
I would like to get that out, earlier. But you figure if 3 years have gone by, it's probably time to make a new album. 2 seems to be pretty reasonable. 3, whatever. 4 is getting a little bit long. So I guess that was really our only impetus that we said, we really should get our shit together and put another one of these out. And we had toured on Shock. We gone to Europe a few times. So how long are you going to tour on the same album? You got to put a new one out.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, especially, and that's so wild that you mentioned that, because going to the King Diamond tour back in October of last year, Overkill was supporting King Diamond, and they hadn't released anything since like 2019.
Yeah.
So they've been touring that same thing for 6 fucking years now. And it's just like, hey man, are you going to go? No, I'd be going for Overkill. And I saw him play this same set a year ago and 2 years before that, or, right before COVID. It's like, shit, man. So yeah, I totally get what you're saying. It's like, get your shit together and, record and get it done. But of course we say that, but then there's label that gets involved and that says, okay, well, our release date for this is what we have, because, they've got to fit a release schedule too.
Yeah, that's true. We didn't have any of that from our label.
That's awesome.
That might be more like big business. Atlantic Records is like, you better have this delivered to my office. We don't.
Oh no! I don't mean like that. What I mean is like their release structure. It's like, okay, well, they've got you slated for an October release, so because that's how their structure works, and they're. Because let's face it, there's a lot of independent labels out there that still only put out 1 or 2 albums a year that are their biggest albums. But I mean, you've got a ton of small stuff that still comes out.
Yeah, Cruise put out a couple of heavy hitters this year. I think Christian Mistress is one of them.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a problem following their schedule, what with all the stuff with the cover and everything, but I think it was worth the wait.
Hell yeah. And I mean, honestly, and I believe I'd said it, I shared when Sarah Beth was showing off the album on Instagram, I had shared it from there. And I said that I've always appreciated like a leather bound look of an album. And it goes back to Venom.
Oh yeah. Venom, I'm wearing Venom right now.
Exactly. Dude, like but I've always loved like like At War with Satan and even Welcome to Hell has that kind of look to it.
Fucking hell yeah. Those are my 2 favorites, by the way. I love covering Rip Ride. When I was like first getting bands together, I used to make.
That was your first band name?
No. Just used to cover Rip Ride.
Oh, hell yeah. Dude, I've always wanted to cover the song, but it's like fucking like 20 minutes.
At War with Satan,
yeah, I want to cover it. Just because it's always been like the rhetoric, or not the rhetoric, but the syncopation in the vocal pattern, the rhythm of it. I've always loved like the way Kronos wrote that out, and it was a poem that he had written. So totally cool stuff. So now that you're back, now that the album is out, what's going on for the rest of 25?
We don't really know. We got a show Friday, this coming Friday, May 16th, which will have already happened by the time this is out.
Yeah, probably.
And other than that, we got something in Austria that's not announced yet, but we're going to be there for a fest. And then maybe a couple other shows around that Eastern area. But we don't have a tour. We don't have anything really booked. It's kind of strange to say that, but we don't, we're trying to.
Especially going into summer.
Yeah. I guess the time is kind of past to even book something for the summer. You want to be 5-6 months ahead.
At least, yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, we're not going to just sit here and not do shows. Maybe we'll put something together ourselves for the fall.
Hell yeah.
But no, there's really no big announcement as far as playing, We want to and we will, but just probably not till after summer.
Oh yeah, and obviously, we'll share it up here on the Metal Forge anytime we see anything come up. So when you're doing that, when you're doing shows, are you actually doing this yourself, or are you working with somebody? Say like for example, like a Heavy Talent or anybody, you know what I'm saying?
Most bands are working with Heavy Talent, or at least the ones that we want to play with.
For sure.
And we have, we collaborated in 2022 with them. We did a little East Coast tour. And then in Europe, we have Doomstar as our booking agency.
Okay.
Yeah. But this time around, we'll see.
Yeah, for sure. Because a lot of people don't realize how hard it is still, and almost how much harder it has gotten to book shows. Even a decade ago, I mean, you could at least talk to somebody on a phone, or, if you had to. But now it's like a lot of times it's hard to even get return emails from people.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
and it's persistency, I think, is key.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's a lot of factors, I guess. Like we haven't had to self-book a tour in, quite a while. But I remember, the 2000s decade, you would book tours on MySpace.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Do that. That was fun.
And what I remember even before that, being in the late 90s and stuff, and actually going to venues and getting contact information and dropping stuff off.
Yeah,
dropping CDs and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like, how did you find out about other venues? Well, you fucking took a trip, and no pun intended. And you drove up to the fucking, Cincinnati or fucking Philly or what the fuck ever. You had friends that played there and they turned you on to it. That's one of the things that I think musicians today take for granted, is that the information center is insanely good today.
Yeah.
When it comes to, it's like, okay, well, we've heard of this venue, this place, and this place in the town that we could play. And it's all like, if this place isn't available, there's this place, That's what
I do. I'll go on Setlist FM and look at all the places, bands like us have played before. And, don't set up that club,
Yeah, for sure. And, and that's really what it is. Yeah. Because there's so much media competition out there. Like, this podcast, for example, it has millions of other podcasts to go with it, that are just out in the ether every single day that's released, So
there's a give and take with it, though, because there's, everything is at your fingertips, but then everything is liable to get lost in the shuffle that much more easily, because you have so much to sift through. It almost cancels itself out. It's like, everything's accessible, but you have to know what you're looking for first, or you ain't gonna find it.
Very true. Very true. And honestly, that's where it gets me, like, as a person going to record stores. It's the same way. It's the same concept. There is so much stuff out there today that, like, if I go to a brick and mortar store and it's like not kind of sectioned off like metal and rock and, stuff like that, it gets very tedious for me to start digging through stuff, because it's just like, I know what I'm looking for, and you're not making it as easy as it could be.
Right. That's a good analogy. You have to sift through everything on the internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
and I've been outspoken about this, and about like black metal, for example. I'm not the world's biggest black metal fan. I appreciate most of it for what it is, but when it comes down to it, it's not really my thing.
Yeah.
But like, I get so fucking many emails from production companies that is nothing but black metal. And it's like hammered every single day, fucking 14 times a day. I'm like,
sorry to hear that.
Oh, come on, guys. Send me something like this. Send me, send me something else.
Glad we could help.
What's that?
Said glad we could help there.
Of course,
black metal.
So obviously with 2025, almost half over now, again, being too late for the summer. Cool. Hopefully you can get some stuff going on in the fall. That's rad as shit.
Yeah. We're doing Massachusetts too. I'm sorry. Yeah, I forgot we got something in Massachusetts in October. I forgot about that one.
Hell yeah.
Little by little, we're getting,
Well, yeah. I mean, sometimes it's that. I hate that analogy, but it's just like I have to. It's like the first thing that comes to mind is, well, that's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I always hate that, because that's how it is. I mean, some days you're lucky to get anything, get a reply email, or, just, it's always hurry up and wait in the business. for the most part. You have a 2 p.m. call time load in for a show that's going to start at 7 or 8. Or you have, exactly. Or you have,
we'll email the club then and be like, we can get there at 5:30.
Right. And
we don't need
exactly. But you know what I'm saying, but you're just sitting around. And then it's like, once the gear's there, you don't want to leave a lot of times. And it's just like, well, fuck, what do I do? And that's the hurry up and wait part that I'm done with.
Yeah. It gets everybody in trouble. What do you do with yourself from loading time to show time? Usually nothing good.
Oh, sure. Yeah, for sure. We talked about this a minute ago, the classic spots. You'd mentioned St. Vitus, CBGB's. What was a venue up in your neck of the woods where you're at that you always wanted to play that you never got a chance to?
Ooh,
realistically, of course, in a band that could play in a particular place, because some places are metal bars, some places are punk bars, some people only book cover song or cover bands, but out of a place that realistically any of your bands could have played at, where would you want to?
You mean one that closed, or one that I wish we could play right now?
Even still, yeah.
Well, there's this place on 42nd Street. I think now they call it the Palladium, but it's been the World. It's been the Nokia Theater. It's like, Creator played there, and Anthrax and stuff. I feel like we're probably ready now to get on the stage that big. That would be cool. So I would consider that, within reach.
Dude, the way I see you all is like, you're ready to get on a stage supporting fucking awesome fucking bands. Like, and I'm going to say like Metallica. I really fucking truly mean that like on their tour right now that they're doing, there are bands like Bastardane and Otto, which are kids of theirs that are playing those shows that bands like Tower, I don't like to say outshine because it's different. It's different musically. But what I'm saying is like the caliber of songwriting that I hear is on a different level than, a club scene band. I feel like you all should be at a higher point. And it's not from nothing, but I mean, because it takes hard work and long years. For example, if you've ever seen them live, what's the song they play before they come on stage? It's A Long Way to the Top. If you want to rock and roll.
Hell yeah.
So even 60 years old and out of touch with music, they still get it.
They remember. But we'll see, man. I mean, honestly, it fucking may happen,
Sure.
That's part of the whole thing after this album comes out. What can we really pull off? So we're going to see about that. You
need to just book it. You book it and go. Fucking just book it and go.
If you book it, they will rock.
Yeah, for sure. Don't just talk about it, be about it, right? What's another one? It's don't talk about it, be about it.
Say little and do much.
Boom. That's a good one.
Yep.
Did you say bada bing?
Bada bing. That was genuine too. I say
for
shit
sure.
like that.
No Time Like the Present. That's a good one. Boom. Yeah. But no, Hammerstein Ballroom.
Oh yeah, fuck it. Well, yeah. I mean, I saw Maiden and Priest there.
Hell yeah.
Megadeth. Yeah. I mean, yeah, sure.
I heard there's the WWE when they talked about starting Monday Night Raw, and they did the Manhattan Center Hammerstein there. They talked how it was such in disrepair that they had to go in and structurally fucking fix that part of the building.
Wow. I know they stopped having shows. I used to go pretty often in the late 90s. And then it seems like Hammerstein and the Roseland around the same time stopped hosting shows regularly. I don't know what or why, but I'm not surprised to hear that it was in disrepair. I don't know. They used to do things all the time, and then they stopped out of nowhere.
Right. So when I've done completely forgot what I was going to say.
Damn. Well, let's keep talking about. I don't.
Yeah.
WWE. If you want.
Where? Okay. So going overseas now. Where's the place that you would always want to play?
Place that I want to play overseas
that you haven't yet.
Yeah, we haven't. I mean, like fucking the Hammersmith or something, you know?
Oh, the Odeon, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me break out my fucking Motorhead fucking vinyl really fast. We'll fucking throw on some live at Hammersmith there. Hell yeah.
No sleep till Hammersmith, no sleep till Brooklyn. It all works out. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, yeah, it does. And you know, that's totally cool. What's your favorite place that you've played over in Europe or wherever else?
Well, it was a big deal to play the Market Halle in Hamburg, which we just did on this most recent tour. A lot of big bands have come through there. We really like.
Now, is that the place where everybody takes place at the window?
Oh, that's Zilla. I was just going to say that next. That's a little bar. But I mean, it's like, you know, fucking diehards, like, you know, every band's dream is to have a show in this place with a crowd like that. It's like really so fucking cool. And we almost didn't even make that gig on this tour because we had played Greece. The show before was in Athens, Greece. We had to fly from mainland Europe to Athens and then back. Well, the day we're supposed to fly from Athens back to make the show in Germany with the little window place, there was all of a sudden a strike in Germany. We couldn't fly into Germany at all. So
holy shit.
We were like, thought we may have to cancel, but we figured it out. And
was that near the election time for them? Is that when that was? Just here a couple months ago?
I don't know. It was March 10th. So
yeah, I think it was. I think that was around their election time when like Elon Musk was over there and fucking like causing havoc and shit like that.
Yeah.
No wonder.
Yeah. So that almost fucked us up. But yeah, that was an amazing show. That was really, really cool. I loved it. I mean, it's hard to even think of a place in Europe that we didn't enjoy. I don't think there's been one. Or if there was, we won't say it. But 99% of them have been fucking killer.
Hell yeah. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
You know, is writing good music, playing to awesome fucking people, and, you know, just fucking experience life. Fucking like, you know, just fucking go to the corner fucking pizza shack or stand or whatever, get you a $2 slice at fucking 2 a.m. and go rock the fuck out.
Yo, in Europe, they have pizza vending machines. We did this drunk at like 3 a.m.
Pizza vending machines?
Yeah, it's as bad as it sounds, but we loved it.
Dude, that's almost like going to Japan and seeing the fucking live crab vending machines.
What?
Yeah, they actually sell live crab to take home to eat in a vending machine. They're in a fucking breathable plastic container, just kind of fucking hanging out in there.
Breathable to torture them long.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's like, what the fuck?
Oh, they got they got like sausage vending machines, like meat in Germany.
Dude, that's insane. Yeah. I just played a German American fest in Indianapolis, and the food selection was in fucking sane.
Man, it's
like
good.
So good. So, I mean, like if you like German food, yeah, go to something like that. So I'm going to switch over to derailed here. This is some random questions about you as a person. And I say this is derailed, but this really isn't. I mean, the whole show is derailed at this point because obviously we've talked about some crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you've regret not doing so far in your life that you keep putting off?
There's a few things I might want to do. Again, the things that I really want to do and keep putting off.
Like, I'll get to that someday.
I mean, when I was younger, I thought about switching jobs. Maybe I'll go back to college or, go to college for the first time because I do construction. But at this point, I got so many years in. I mean, fuck that.
That seems to be the job up there for so many people because the city's so big. Obviously, there's a lot of fucking construction going on, but it seems to be like a lot of the band guys and people that I talk to from up there, that's what their go-to is.
It's, it's good money. And if you are strong enough and kind of have common sense enough, you could make it through a day doing it. But I don't know, I've tried to do pretty much everything I really, really want to do. I mean, again, realistic goals, I think, we'll probably play Japan. That's something I want to visit. And you just mentioned too, Japan in their crab machines. I'm sure, I want to partake in all this stuff,
that are shaped like Hello Kitty heads.
Yeah. Philippe, our bassist, Philippe is always in Japan. He loves going there. And so he always brings us back gifts and Hello Kitty stuff and brightly colored things. Now I have my speaker cable for my amp inside my rotten bag that I need to replace, but it's in one of his Japanese pink cases or something. I love it.
Hell yeah, dude, that's rad as shit.
I never learned to eat with chopsticks. Let's put that as my official answer. Maybe one day I'll really learn how to eat with chopsticks. I haven't yet, and I really want.
Totally. That's a thing. That is a thing. I like the lightsaber ones. I'm a Star Wars nerd. I'm actually a nerd about a lot of shit.
I was surprised for half a second about that. Of course there are.
Yeah, I mean, Star Wars is like Kiss of the movie galaxy.
Yeah.
I mean, anything that you have, you can fucking stack. Fucking put a sticker on it and name it Star Wars. I mean, fuck.
I mean, they glow, right?
Sure could release a black and fucking yellow SM7B and call it the Star Wars fucking mic that recorded like fucking Darth Vader's voice and shit. Yeah. And you would sell fucking, they would sell crazy amounts.
I want 3 of them already.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, this is the mic that recorded James Earl Jones. Fucking. Just because it's fucking what it is. So we mentioned construction. Is there a place that you've done construction where you're just like, I fucking hate this place? Like, you don't want to fucking do construction there ever. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a fucking shithole and you just fucking be like, why do I have to fucking come here?
Yeah, well, that's a case by case basis. I didn't like not the job I'm on now, but the one prior to it. We were building a wing of a certain school, which I got nothing against the school or anything, but that building is cursed, and so is the company running it. And I ain't going to say any more about that.
No, that's totally cool. I totally get it. And I mean, that's exactly what I'm looking for. It's like,
there's been jobs I had in what you would call, a bad neighborhood, but I really liked those jobs. Actually, I love the commute, and I don't know. I just places other people wouldn't want to go. I don't really have a problem going.
The way I see that, like, quote, bad neighborhood shit is all bullshit. The worst fucking neighborhoods of people I've ever been in have been in the fucking goddamn gated communities of Karens and Chads rather than the fucking bad neighborhood on the bad side of town.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck that. I totally get you. For the most part, people leave you the fuck alone.
Yeah.
You get your shit done.
Yeah. Right.
I used to do pest control.
You have to know. That's all. Yeah.
I used to do pest control for a day job. And that's the thing, it's like going to the fucking what in Louisville, the West End, people talk shit about it being fucking bad part of town shit. No, it's fucking not. People leave you the fuck alone.
Right. Yeah, in general, if you just have to be normal. A lot of people maybe are nervous before they even get to one of these, situations, and the nervousness shows on you, and that causes a problem. Otherwise, it's no problem.
Sure. Okay, so this is kind of a niche specific question. So, and these, because they're about you as a person, I try to stay away from the music aspect on there. But you can answer this as a musical question if you like. And it is, what do you wish you had known when you started out that you know now? That you wish you knew when you started, whether it's in music, in work, in just, life, whatever. I mean, what piece of knowledge do you wish you had from the beginning?
These are good questions. I would have adjusted my perspective as a younger person. I was thinking about music first. I was going to say, well, I wish I would have known it would take X amount of years before anybody really, gives a shit or you make an impact. But I'm glad I didn't know that because, it kept me trying hard the whole time. But just, I don't know, a piece of knowledge that I wish I don't know, I was angry and depressed a lot as a younger person, and I would just want to snap myself out of that. Eventually, it did go away, with a little work and everything, but I don't know. Maybe that. I guess. I don't know. It's a good question. I want to give you a good answer. I guess I would just adjust my perspective as a younger person. But again, it's all a journey. You gotta go through it to get
peaks and valleys. Yeah, for sure. No, I totally get that. And, not so far off from that, I was the same way. I think really when I changed is when I got to my fucking 40s, and I started to readjust the way I thought about things. Like, it's almost like, you're going to piss somebody off. So do it anyway and just be happy. That kind of thing. Had I known that, so like, for example, going on extended tours.
Yeah.
Always, my dad drove a semi truck, so he was gone a lot of the time across the country, to and fro kind of stuff. And like, that was fucking rad going out in the truck with him when I was a kid, like on summer break and shit like that. And, just seeing places was totally fucking cool. But like musically, because music at the time, and it's still, even to this day, is such a fucking gamble of like, okay, are you going to play to 10 people or are you going to play to 100 people? You don't fucking know some nights.
Right.
And that was always the thing, is I had this friend who did the thing, moved from the Midwest, went to California, found out his significant other back home was pregnant, left California when like a year after the child was born, missed all that because fucking didn't know, and fucking finally happened, and just like had to sell pieces of gear to get back home.
Yeah.
And that always fucking like scared the fucking shit out of me about being stranded in a fucking place, right? And then as I've gotten older and I'm just like, let's fucking play Chicago. Let's go fucking here. Let's go there. Let's fucking go everywhere. Let's go fucking go to California. Fuck it. And
it takes effort, man. It takes effort and drive to get out and, just leave those four walls and go.
Yeah. And to be able, that's what I would wish that I had starting out. I like to answer these questions too, if you notice.
Okay. Yeah,
because nobody really ever gets the same question. That's the whole thing.
It's in the cards, right?
Huh?
In the cards, right?
It's in the cards. Now there's some that come up, but no. So like, if I could have instilled myself that, hey, dude, just do the thing and everything's going to be okay. And I say that looking directly into the camera so I can watch this back in editing and be like, give myself a little pep talk here.
Well done. Well done.
What's that?
Said well done.
Fuck yeah. You don't have to say who, but if you could say anything to any one person in your life without consequence, what would you say?
Shit, I don't know. I don't hold shit in like that. I don't know. Oh God, I'd have to think about who I need to apologize to the most.
Boom,
something like that.
That's hardcore.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, fuck. I mean, what else do you ever need to say?
Dude, that's amazing. That it's just like you have to sit there and be like, you know what?
I'm sure I've wronged someone that needs a better apology from me. That's about the only thing I could think that's left unsaid.
Sure.
That would be my fault.
No, totally. It's like having, friendships, relationships, whatever, and just being like, you know what? I don't hate you anymore kind of shit.
Yeah.
Or, I hope things are working out for you.
Yeah.
That's real fucking growth.
Right. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Does life have a reason?
Sure. I think so. But I'm not a preacher.
What do you think yours is?
The reason?
Yeah.
Story of life, you go from being a taker to a giver. You start out as a baby and you can't give anything to anybody. You just need everybody to give things to you. As you mature, the roles reverse. And then maybe at a certain stage, you are taking care of someone else. And that's sort of the point of life, really. To mature, to become one who gives instead of takes from others.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I totally get that.
It's not easy. It's not like I've mastered this and that's how I live my life. But it's something that I keep.
But you try to give back as much as you can. Yeah. I think that is the ultimate thing. And I had an interview that hasn't, by the time we are talking, has not been released yet, but it will be soon. And the gentleman talks about how he had this conversation with Zetro from Exodus.
Yeah. Lucky I saw them at one of his last shows before this dumb shit happened. But anyway,
I got to see them twice here recently with him. I've played with them with Rob Dukes in the band, and Rob's all right. I'm not a big fan of him with them personally, but people like it. That's cool. They're out there. They're still doing the thing. And the last album they released with Zetro was really fucking good, Persona Non Grata. But he said there's 3 stages of evolution to being a musician. You're somebody, you're nobody, and then you're a legend.
Yeah. Hey.
I think, and you know what? That can pretty much apply to life too. Exactly with what you just said about being a taker and then transferring into being a giver like that. Because you're somebody, you're nobody, and then you achieve legend status where it's just like, how can I uplift others?
Yeah, that humility of that second stage, being somebody and then going to being nobody, that really will put a person in his place. But then the greatness is recognized and you reach stage 3. It's so true. All true.
Sure. Absolutely. What's your favorite movie theater snack?
Movie theater snack? Oh, shit. Either M&M's or the Nestle Crunch, but like with the fucking their nuggets. It's not a bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing. It's not the Nestle though, but it's the little Butterfinger BBs.
Oh, okay, cool.
That they still sell at the movie theaters.
Sick.
They're like $9 a box for like 4 of them. No,
jeez.
And that's
that's cheap in New York. They're $90 a box.
Exactly what I was gonna say. One of my best friends lived in Passaic. And I probably completely like rednecked that fucking word to you. Like, she's from Passaic.
Passaic? You mean
Passaic, yeah. See,
Passaic,
yeah.
New Jersey, yeah.
Yeah. And she was from here originally, and when she would come back and visit, we would go out, and she would always treat me down here because like everything is like 3 to 4 times more expensive there.
Yeah.
And her dollar went so much farther down here. It's like going to eat at Hard Rock Cafe and it being like $140 in like 2005. And she's like, oh no, it'd be like $300 in New York.
Yeah, $140 is a bar tab easily in the city.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, listen, right? I thought about a month or two ago, one of the guys on our construction crew got laid off. So we went to the bar after. So we were like, have a nice send off. I got maybe 3 beers and shots, and the bill after the gratuity was $118.
Jesus.
Yeah.
No, see, like,
I know. Yeah, that's what I was
cost
thinking.
of living sucks here.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, like, a 1-bedroom apartment is like $1,200 here. It's like 780 square feet.
Okay.
It's like 1,900 for like a 2-bedroom. I know there it's like 3,500 for a 400 square foot like fucking apartment, fucking like
in Manhattan.
Boom studio.
Yeah, in Manhattan it's like that. Manhattan, I don't think you can rent anything for less than $4,000, no matter what it is. Even I forget about. And the other boroughs, like Queens, where I live, is not quite as bad. But it's almost impossible to find anything of any size under 2,000.
For sure. Now, are there a lot? It seems to be that there's a lot of like family home stuff up there still.
Yeah.
Like mom's still alive, but the son, one of the sons still lives there, and it's like it becomes like a family home kind of thing. And I think that's always kind of cool.
It's true. It's a little, you see, Queens and really all the boroughs that aren't Manhattan have is a little bit of suburbanness to it. A lot of these homes are 100 years old and have been owned by the same family.
And
it's
that's
like
rad.
You see Manhattan from here, but a lot of people don't even really want anything to do with it.
For sure, I totally get that.
There's a lot of family life. It's sort of a suburban life in a lot of places in Queens and Brooklyn, Staten Island. Not the Bronx. That's a jungle.
Hell yeah. What is a food that you don't regularly have near you, but you wish you could have near you? Like, I don't know, like Britain's fish and chips, like on the corner, if you could have it every day kind of thing. What food would you want to have that's nowhere near you up there?
Yeah,
you got a big epicenter. You've got a lot of culture that you could fucking go to. You've got the fucking soul food culture. You've got fucking Mexican, Italian, Chinese, like authentic.
Everything. There's nothing you can't find here, but I can still answer your question because there's this fucking, I guess it's a barbecue place, a smokehouse, whatever you want to call it. And I think it's in St. Louis. It might be called Joe's, but that place is the shit. And we don't have anything that good here. Sorry.
Hell yeah.
So if I lived down a block from Joe's, I would be eating there 10 times a week.
Fuck yeah, I totally get that. There was a guy from here. If you're into wrestling at all, Jim Cornette, originally from
that rings a bell.
Yeah. When he went to work
or not?
No, he's still alive and is fucking crazy as ever. Let's just say that. But when he went to work
when was his wrestling career?
Between the 80s and the early 2000s.
Sure. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
when he went to work for WWE, he went to work and went up into Stamford and was living up there. And he used to have his mother mail back cases of Chef Boyardee because he didn't like the Italian food up there.
What?
The authentic Italian food. He loved it out of the can better. And it's like, what the fuck?
That can happen. That can happen when you're raised on Chef Boyardee. I guess that'll become your thing. I'm surprised he couldn't find anywhere he was.
Sure. So I have one more question, but before we get to it, as always, there's links. They're listed below. So give likes, shares, and follows. Go buy albums. Go do the thing and all the stuff. Go support them on tour. Click those fucking links. Smash those like buttons. Do all the things and all of the fucking stuff because that's what it's all about. Dude, James, do you have anything else you'd like to shout out or promote today?
I don't know. Just we're playing that show Friday, but that'll be in the past already by the time this comes out. So I don't know. Just for anyone who still wants the first press of this record, it's about to be gone. We're buying the last box of copies from the label that we can get from them, and they're almost gone. So if you really want one, don't wait. And I'd just stay tuned. We'll be on the road. We'll hit the road. I'm sure we'll do something before the end of the year. We're just sort of riding this out right now, selling our merch, playing here and there. But, we're going to get our shit together and come out. So stay tuned for that eventually.
Shit, yeah. That's what it's all fucking about. Hell yeah. So my final question is, what is the craziest thing you've ever experienced in your life? Meaning this can't be real. What's the craziest thing like that you've ever had?
God, I got to think of the ones that I can tell.
You can always omit names.
Yeah, well. Give me a second to think about this one. The craziest shit I've ever fucking seen. I'll tell you. All right, I will. All right. So I used to play in this band called Deceased, right? You know Deceased?
Yeah.
Okay, from Arlington, Virginia, King Valley, right? So I was in this band for 5 years. I played live shows for 5 years complete with them. Anyway, the very first show, we were playing Buffalo. It was July 2011. And I get in the van, and we're driving. We're going up the road, whatever. Huh?
Get in the van.
Get in the van. I heard that a lot. And anyway, so we pull it. Our first stop. It's still early in the morning. We left so early. We pull the van into the parking spot. I open the door, and standing right in front of me is CeCe DeVille from Poison. I shit you not. This motherfucker was wearing a green jacket that said Mexico on the back in white letters. And he had the raccoon makeup he looked like Tammy Faye Baker. And he must have been fucking blasted because I was stunned. And I said, CeCe DeVille. And he turned around and then he just walked away. So he was bonkers. He was bonked out, man. But yeah, try that on for size. The first road stop, I opened the door and it's right there is CeCe DeVille. That was crazy.
That is crazy.
That's pretty crazy.
I always loved Behind the Music when it was a thing on VH1 back in the late
pop-up
90s.
video.
Yeah. And when they had the Behind the Music of Poison, it's the fucking greatest thing ever because they talk about when they got in the fight on the bus and he punched CeCe in the fucking mouth and knocked him out the bus door, and then they fired him or he quit, whatever, mutually left the band kind of thing.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is when he got off coke and they showed pictures of him where he was 400 pounds.
Yeah.
Where he ballooned up from the fucking, just from the coke fucking fallout.
Yeah.
And just you almost cannot find pictures of that today. It's like they've been scrubbed of the internet, it seems.
Right. I forgot all about that. And you're totally right.
Yeah. And
it happens to it happened to Dee Ramone. He got all below. They give you stuff in rehab that will do that to a person.
Yep.
Yeah. You're right. He fucking ballooned up, man. He almost looked like well, I'm not going to say, but I remember that. I remember what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he covered a Hank Williams song trying to come back as a solo artist, and it fucking flopped.
That I don't remember, but that's
Yeah, I think it was "Hey Good Looking" from Hank Williams Sr.
all right.
And he tried to
I
do
kind of
like
like Poison. I like some of those old songs.
I get it. No, that's totally cool. Dude, so on our way out today, what Tower song are we going to play? I mean, you got a couple of videos. I like playing videos. So let's play one of your all's videos out.
Do you? Well, videos is going to be the Chapel or Run for My Life, unless you somehow have the video for Elegy. Do you?
I don't know. Is it available?
That's a question I don't know how to answer because we made one and it used to be up, but then I think the rights to the song got bought out by BMG or Warner Brothers or something, and it's like it's on our Facebook, but the sound might be muted or I don't. But
I will. Okay, if it's
man,
Elegy, I will find it and I will play it,
dude. If that's possible, I'll even try to look and see if I have a copy. But if that doesn't work out, I guess go with Chapel. But
hell yeah,
Elegy is still our live closer. We end every concert with it, and probably always will. So if you want to have a send off on that one, even a live video, there's good live videos of it. If even that.
Boom, you heard him.
Elegy.
James, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mark. Fuck yeah. See ya.
see you soon, I hope.
Hey metalheads, you like tattoos? Of course you do. If you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, come on over the bridge to Clarksville, Indiana, and get you some ink done at Ageless Art. If ink isn't your thing, they have a piercing studio as well. Visit agelessartclarksville.com to see some frequently asked questions, meet the staff. The shop is open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 12 to 10 p.m., and Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m., all appointment-only spots. You can set up your appointments by phone at 812-283-1793 or email agelessarttattooandpiercing@gmail.com and someone will get you set up for your first or your next tattoo or piercing.
Hey metalheads, after going to a rager, what's your ultimate go-to? Mine is totally pizza. So when Overload is playing, or I'm promoting the Metal Forge live showcases, or the big goddamn metal show, I go to Pizza Donisi. Pizza Donisi is gourmet artisan pizza from right here in Louisville, Kentucky. It features things like the pizza of the month, the sandwiches, and also vegetarian and vegan options, which is so totally fucking cool for all of it's awesome pizza. You definitely want to go. Hey, and also from time to time they do cannolis. Oh, so fucking good. You know what they said, man? Leave the gun, take the cannoli. Yeah, just like that in Godfather. They're located right next to the Mag Bar at 1396 South 2nd Street. So either stop in or call in at 502-213-0488. They're open till midnight. The witching hour.
Heineken? Fuck that shit! Pabst Blue Ribbon!
Hey metalheads, you all hear me talk about Mag Bar all the time. It is the home to the Metal Forge live showcases and is an integral stop in the ultimate underground metal tour schedule. They obviously feature live music, but the Mag Bar also has daily specials like Pint and Slice Night on Tuesdays with Pizza Donisi. But they also do Bring Your Own Vinyl on Thursdays with DJ Kent Jackson, and Finer Things Sundays. Located right next to Pizza Donisi at 1398 South 2nd Street, open 3 p.m. to 4 a.m. 7 days a week. Get your asses out to the Mag Bar. Rock out. For 45 years and keeping Louisville weird, Electric Ladyland has been there for all your eccentricities. While they do offer the best smoking supplies out on the market today, there's a whole lot more to check out. From ashtrays and blacklight posters, to records, incense and burners, and items to stock your metaphysical supply. They're open from 10 to 10, 7 days a week. Located at 2325 Bardstown Road in Louisville, Kentucky, and at electricladyland420.com. Roll out. In 2017, one man's vision and passion for all things metal started out as a record store in his house. Years later, the fight against a mainstream empire continues as Shade Beast. An independent metal collective and online store based in Athens, Georgia, is the world's premier heavy metal brand for music heads that value authenticity over the mainstream acceptance.
featuring original t-shirts from some of the best underground artists, as well as stickers, posters from the Shade Beast Presents concert series. Unique, one-of-a-kind collectibles and small curated selection of vinyl and cassettes from the masters old and new. Visit shadebeast.com and enter promo code SithLord for free domestic shipping on your first order, whether you're a new customer or returning. And be sure to join the Shade Beast social groups on Facebook and the interwebs to keep up with the new release announcements and talk all things metal and Star Wars. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and filth.
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The Sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Since 2013, there has been a calling from the underground, from the graves of all those unholy, and they decided to make a zine to talk about all of this. Soul Grinder Zine! An independent metal zine to keep you informed on all things metal and horror from the underground. Available in both print and digital formats, they're bringing you the best interviews and reviews out there today. Not only do they do the zine, but they also do compilation CDs. Check them out at facebook.com/soulgrinder.zine and start your subscription now. Hey everybody, let me tell you about the new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Unchained Tapes. They're an independent Pennsylvania tape label. They focus on extreme metal and punk with a killer approach to the tape scene. Visit their web store at unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com now to get your fill of tapes. And for being a Metal Forge listener, enter the code METALFORGE10 at checkout to get a 10% discount on your total purchase. That's unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com.
What's up, Metal Forge fans? This is Alan Bishop, the alchemist of Indiana's Black Forest and head distiller at Spirits of French Lick. Do you find yourself drawn to the unexplained, fascinated by the Fortean, or enchanted by the paranormal? If the things that go bump in the night resonate in your mind, then tune into my brand new podcast, If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything. Featuring first-hand accounts, collected stories, interviews, history, and speculation related to all things not of this world. Available now on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and more. Sit back, relax, and remember, if you have ghosts, you have everything.
Hey, let me tell you guys about Mercenary Press. They're an independent London label and distributor of all things metal. Mercenary Press delivers the goods from their own independent zine. Trust me, you're going to want to get in on that. to distributing various bands from all over the world, including Cramp from Spain and Sadistic Force from Texas. Visit mercenarypress.bigcartel.com to find out what all they have in stock and what you can order. And for Metal Forge listeners, enter code METALFORGE10 to receive a discount on your total purchase at mercenarypress.bigcartel.com. Check it out now.
Hey Metalheads, it's with great pleasure I get to tell you guys about a new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Ageless Art, New Albany. After 20 years of owning and operating Ageless Art in Clarksville, Indiana, Phil Garrett had a vision for a new type of tattoo studio. Something that is clean and modern, sleek, refined, inviting. And he's done just that with Ageless Art in New Albany. You can find it at 2736 Charlestown Road, New Albany, Indiana, 47150. Business hours are Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays are 12 to 6. All sessions are appointment only, so give them a call and go get you some new ink. Or if it's your first time, go get your first one, baby.
In a broken wasteland,